This house is mine now, so I won't allow you, Mom, to step foot in here anymore. Just so you know, that key won't work anymore, so you might as well throw it away." As I clenched the key, my daughter glanced at it and burst into laughter. My belongings were piled up roughly in front of the entrance. Why would my daughter treat me this way? Especially when my heart was still heavy with grief from returning from my husband's funeral. I was lost, unable to comprehend the situation. My name is Evelyn, and I am 60 years old. My husband passed away recently after a long illness. The funeral was attended by many who knew him well. We shared memories and traits of my husband, sending him off with smiles rather than tears at a funeral that was very much in his spirit. Yet I was left overwhelmed by a sense of loss. We have a daughter, Lily, who moved to a distant town after getting married and has grown distant over the past few years, rarely showing her face, even during holidays. She left quickly after making a brief appearance at her father's funeral. Before she got married, she was very close to us, always saying she couldn't bear the thought of living away from us, despite our advice to live on her own after getting a job. "After all, meals taste better when the family eats together, don't they?" she would say, perhaps to cheer up her father, who was becoming frail with illness. We were also very happy and grateful for Lily's kindness. Then, Lily suddenly announced that she was getting married and hurriedly submitted the marriage certificate, only to suddenly leave the house. We were puzzled. We met her partner only once and exchanged a few words, but it seemed they truly loved each other, and we wished for Lily's happiness, refraining from meddling in their affairs. However, after a few months of marriage, she stopped contacting us at all. We worriedly sent daily messages and calls asking if she was all right, but received no replies until finally, she answered irritably, asking us to stop contacting her every day. She even laughed loudly, suggesting she'd only talk to us if we sent her some money. During the day, she seemed to be very drunk and slurring her words. My husband, having heard this exchange, sighed deeply. Lily's change was likely influenced by her husband, Ollie. Since then, my husband never mentioned Lily again. Some years later, Lily shamelessly approached us for money, citing financial troubles. That was the last time she and her father saw each other. Over the years, my husband and I created many memories together, traveling and taking up new hobbies whenever his health permitted. Eventually, he passed away. Returning home from the funeral, I was shocked to find my belongings piled up outside with movers directed by Lily. "Ah, just pile that junk over there." "Oh, you're back. Well, this isn't your home anymore, Mom. I've gathered your things, so you better find somewhere else to live before it rains and everything gets soaked." "Lily, what are you doing? What on earth are you doing? Please explain." I was just confused, not understanding anything. "What's there to explain? You know, don't you? This house is supposed to be inherited by Lily. Don't play dumb." Saying this, a large man emerged from behind Lily. It was all because of this man that Lily had changed. Allie is Lily's husband. Meeting Ollie changed Lily completely. We were introduced to him as a regular company employee, but in reality, he was involved in dubious business dealings. When we found out, we couldn't understand how our straightforward Lily ended up with someone like Ollie, and we were very worried. Lily and Ollie kept us at a distance. Despite this, a few years ago, they suddenly came to our house and shamelessly asked my husband for money. I was shaken, but my husband remained calm and spoke about a will that even I was unaware of. At that time, it was clearly stated that this house would go to Lily, and everything else to me. Now that Dad has passed away, the house belongs to Lily, so outsiders should leave quickly. You have no right to live here. Don't pretend you've forgotten. Ollie kicked my belongings aside and sneered. But you can't just say that all of a sudden. Seeing my belongings piled outside, I didn't know what to do and was completely lost. Now, Ollie, you shouldn't speak so coldly. You're right, Mom has no right to live here, but we're still family, aren't we? Saying so, Lily approached me as I stood there holding the key. Don't look so sad. You'll always be my mom. With this key, you can come to this house anytime. Don't be downhearted. Then she took the key from my hand and tossed it far away with all her might. What are you doing? The key arched through the air and disappeared in the distance. I was stunned by Lily's unbelievable action. Turning back to Lily. Sorry about that. Upon closer inspection, that key was already useless. I forgot we changed the locks earlier. Why has it come to this? I felt tears welling up. Then I remembered my husband's kind smile as if he was telling me to hang in there. Lily, I understand what you want to say, but you seem to be misunderstanding something. This is no place to talk. Let's go inside. I urged Lily and Ollie to come in, but they resisted. What? We haven't finished moving in yet. Plus, don't act all high and mighty telling us to talk inside. This is no longer your house. You need our permission to enter. Facing Allie's arrogance. We need to talk about this house. It's not yours yet. I'm just about to explain that I've already called a helper who can explain it in a way that even a child can understand. And he'll be here shortly. Let's go inside and have some tea. If you do anything to me, I'll be the one calling the police. My firm stance seemed to unsettle them a bit. Well, it would be the last time to hear some of an old woman's nonsense. You're getting old anyway. We'll indulge you this much. All right, let's hear what you have to say. If you talk nonsense, you'll have to compensate us for wasting our precious time. Allie sat on the sofa, crossed his legs, and threatened me. Lily glared at me similarly. It seemed these two had threatened many people like this before, squeezing out what they could. This thought saddened me. Soon the doorbell rang, and I led a man into the living room. He was the lawyer who had been present when my husband disclosed the contents of the will. You're the lawyer from that time, right? What accusation are you trying to make? We've seen the will that clearly states this house is to be inherited by Lily, and Dad said so. That's an undeniable fact, isn't it? As I explained before, you didn't quite understand back then. The will stipulates a conditional bequest, and if the condition occurs, the bequest loses its effect. What are you trying to confuse us with all these complicated terms? Seeing their confusion, the lawyer took over to explain. Conditional bequest with revocation refers to a will that comes with conditions. The condition for the inheritance in your father's will was that Evelyn could continue living in the house as long as she was in good health. Lily could inherit the house only if Evelyn could no longer live there due to health issues or passed away. This was clearly stated in the document, and your father emphasized it. Allie and Lily seemed completely lost. Huh? Did he say that? Even if he did, there's no way we'd remember. What's all this about revocation? Lily shook her head in denial. All right then, what about those conditions? They were a bit shaken but still defiant. You two tried to force Evelyn out of the house, violating the will's condition. By doing that, Lily lost her right to inherit at that moment. Wait a minute, are you saying I can't inherit just because of that? That's ridiculous. The lawyer, unfazed by Lily's outburst, stated, a minor issue, but that's the crux of this will. Whether minor or major, breaking that condition results in revocation. When did we ever break that condition? Can you prove it? He leaned in, clearly trying to intimidate the lawyer. The lawyer, clearing his throat, responded. There was a moving truck outside arranged by you two, wasn't it? You were trying to move your things in and live here without Evelyn's consent. Don't say it like we did something wrong. We told Mom about it. She just forgot and panicked on her own. That's not our fault, Lily retorted. Listen, Lily, such childish excuses don't work in the adult world. You not only moved in without permission, but also threw my belongings outside, telling me to leave quickly, I interjected. I didn't say that. You're the one lying. I can't forgive even my mother for making up such accusations. If you keep this up, I'll sue you. Do you want that? Being sued by your daughter is the last thing you want, right? Allie threatened. Then take back what you said. The lawyer pulled out his phone. We can't retract the truth. Multiple witnesses saw and heard you demanding Evelyn leave. We've even recorded their testimonies. He played a video with testimonies from movers and neighbors. Everyone's statements are consistent. They all say you two demanded Evelyn leave. You could have paid them to say that. How can we trust this? Stop making a fool of us, Allie countered. Without responding to Allie's accusation, the lawyer produced a key. Lily, you took the key from Evelyn and threw it away, which was witnessed by many. I found this key in the bushes as described. The fact you changed the locks means Evelyn can't enter or live here, violating the condition that she can stay as long as she's healthy. Thus, you've breached the inheritance condition. Don't spout whatever you want. If I get serious, I can make sure a second-rate lawyer like you never works again, Allie blustered. Despite Allie's loud threats, the lawyer remained calm and continued. Therefore, this house will never belong to Lily, and you have no right to live here. Now please remove your belongings and restore Evelyn's immediately. If you delay or try to stay, we'll report a breaking crime to the police. You have 2 hours. Start now. The lawyer clapped his hands sharply and checked the time on his wristwatch. Police, you say? Such nonsense won't shake me, Allie blustered. I'm a professional. This is no lie. Getting into trouble with the police over this would only be problematic for you. Even Ollie seemed to understand this wasn't an empty threat. Darn it, Ollie! Lily started sweating profusely and hurriedly got up to move. It appeared Ollie was like a man who was big only in size but had no guts. I'm sorry, we'll put everything back right away, so please don't call the police, okay? Please. Lily pleaded in a sweet voice to the lawyer and shouted at the movers waiting outside to reload the truck. But they refused, citing no such agreement. Eventually, Allie had to rent a car and somehow managed to load the belongings. Just loading isn't enough. You must restore everything to how it was. If Evelyn's belongings are damaged or dirty, clean them up. Any damage and we'll report property damage and seek compensation. The lawyer continuously mentioned reporting and compensation claims, pushing Ollie and Lily to restore everything within 2 hours after loading their belongings. Lily tearfully asked Ollie, "Now that we've packed up, what do we do?" "How should I know? It's because your dad left that weird will," Lily retorted sharply, blaming Ollie for not listening to the will properly. Despite their argument, they drove off, fleeing the scene. I thanked the lawyer profusely and returned to my home filled with memories of my husband, feeling relieved. Later, I heard that Ollie and Lily had caused trouble in their previous town and moved to our house almost like a night flight, being targeted by scary people without jobs. They planned to intimidate me for inheritance money. Lily staying with Ollie seems destined for a life of repetition. It pained me, but it was the path Lily chose. If they ever regret their actions and wish to live honorably, I'm willing to help. My husband had mentioned something like this. For now, I'll enjoy my time in this house we shared, considering even trying skydiving, something my husband had wanted to do. Looking up at the stars in the night sky, I felt my husband encouraging me, and I gently touched the corners of my eyes.